Hey everybody, it's Magic here, and today on our second episode of Skyrim, A Bard's Tale, Tavern Talk, the podcast. Sorry, I picked up my drum for no real reason whatsoever, and I banged it on the side of my chair. Yep. But yeah, today we will be talking about the new Thieves Guild expansion news that I just found out about. So let's just jump right into it. It looks freaking awesome. All right, so I was watching the trailer for it. I was seeing all sorts of secret passageways. And the best part of this is they need to release this on a Wednesday, because there are camel mounts in this, and that's just like the best thing ever. It's hump day. But so yeah, there's that, and I got a good look at the armor sets in the video. It looks pretty good. I gotta say. The only problem I have is I'm gonna have to. All my characters are pretty low level at this point, so it's not like I can switch alliances. That I think you can do that at level 50. You can finish all the quests in one alliance, and then if you're tired of it, then you can switch and finish all the quests in another alliance. I'm not exactly sure how that works yet, because I'm still fairly new to the game. But it just it's cool. I'm loving it. So it looks really cool. It's just I haven't played it in like 2 weeks ESO because I've been so occupied with Destiny. But it's just it's pretty interesting because I've been messing around. I'm level 17, almost 18, on my main character, who is a Nord named Inro Dakig, after a character from my favorite podcast of all time. By the way, you guys need to check that out. Go into the iTunes store and look up Keeg's Quest, a Skyrim adventure, in the podcast section, or your podcast app, because it is freaking amazing, guys. I'm not kidding. It's a little bit on the language-ish side. I don't even know how you would say that. It's got an explicit tag on every episode. Now, they don't use the big one, but they used every other one. So, yeah. But it's a great podcast. It's an audio drama. It won the 2012 Parsec Award for the best fictional creative audio drama. So yeah, but I'm still waiting on episode 16 right now. So but yeah, enough with the free advertisement. This is I forgot to mention this. This contains content from Bethesda and ZeniMax Online Studio. I do not own any of the rights to this stuff. I'm not affiliated. If they were hiring, I would so apply for a job if I was old enough to get a job. But yeah, so but that's what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm a level 17, my character is, and he I took him to Windhelm, and I've been doing like level 35 quests with him. And something I'd like to see added into the game is the higher level quests, the more experience you will gain from it. Because I noticed it was a little bit more experience for the higher level quests, but it wasn't exactly a ton more. You know, it's okay. It's okay. But I want, if you go through the trouble of freaking going into the same building over and over and over and over and over again, retrying this stuff, trying to get your werewolf ability up, because you were low level and you made it past giants and you snuck around necromancers and stuff and ripped in to get to a freaking werewolf shrine, and then you got lucky enough for one of the other players to bite you for free. I think that should be worth more than just a little level 5 quest. I mean, this is once again just picking on Elder Scrolls Online, but it's something that could really see improvement. But other than that, I am loving these quest lines. Like I said, it's, in my eyes, it's not really an Elder Scrolls game, but it is a good MMO. It's a great MMO. It's great for what it is, which is an MMO, but it is not an Elder Scrolls game. Elder Scrolls game are single player. They have better graphics than the MMO graphics, and they're a lot darker than ESO. Like, I remember back in Skyrim doing the quest for Molag Bal and Mehrunes Dagon and I can't remember her name, the one with the dreams. Oh gosh, I can never remember her names. The one whose Daedric artifact is the Skull of Corruption. Anyways, if you know her name, let me know in the comment section. But yeah, it's lacking some serious Daedric artifactiness. Because there were Daedric artifacts in every other freaking Elder Scrolls game that was made by, that was any good. Like Morrowind, Volendrum was in it, and I think a couple of other ones. And then in Oblivion, I believe the Mace of Molag Bal, Volendrung, and Mehrunes Razor were in them, and then there were a crap ton of Daedric artifacts in Skyrim. So yeah, those all had something wonderful, and they're lacking that. They're lacking it majorly in ESO. Now, the only thing they have that comes anywhere close to that is in ESO is the Daedric dagger you can find in Shagor's tongue. The it's an iron dagger in the Daedric motif, but it looks freaking awesome. But somehow my game glitched out, and it could see it whenever I went into the improvement table, but never when I couldn't actually equip it. It made it look like I had dismantled it and it was gone, but whenever I went into my table, I could see it, I could dismantle it, I could improve it, but I wound up dismantling it because I couldn't equip it anyways. But then I have an iron dagger that looks just like Mehrunes Razor. It's either iron or steel. I started stealing things in Windhelm and getting steel weapons and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the second chapter of our podcast here. We're gonna be sharing some Skyrim stories. Now, I've been thinking about this one for a little while. Anyway, so I've been obsessed with werewolves for pretty gosh darn near 4 or 5 years now. And so, whenever I got Skyrim back in 2013, I found out you could become a werewolf, and I got up and I went over to my computer and I looked it up and I figured it out, and I thought, I've got to freaking try this. And so I started the quest line, I was going through it, I was thinking it was so awesome and all this stuff. And I see the guy turn into a werewolf in Dustman's Cairn, and I'm like, oh, that's freaking awesome, I cannot wait for that. It's so freaking awesome. And at this point, I'm still using Lydia. And so, I complete that quest, and I get to the point where I gotta do a couple of minor quests and able to get into the area where I'm gonna be able to start the main actual becoming a werewolf quest line. And so I'm doing one of those miniature quests, and it's clearing out this little ruin with a bunch of freaking, it's weird because it doesn't have Draugr in it. It's like sort of fungal cave sort of thing. It's really weird, and it's all blue and glowy and stuff. And then I'm walking around, and my character just goes flying, and it suddenly goes into third person, and I see this sort of green liquid stuff all around my screen. I'm thinking, what the frick is this? What's going on now? And so this time I take out my bow, and I'm stealthily approaching. And I say stealthily very lightly because my character was as tanky as it gets. And I look over and I see this freaking centipede thing, and I'm sniping it. It freaking kills me again. And so I tried this like 8 times before I kill this stupid thing. And then there's a freaking another one, and so I try another 8 times, and then I get it. And so I make it past all of these, and in the process, I killed Lydia. Yeah, I accidentally missed these chorus things and killed Lydia. So I'm freaking out. I'm like, is this for real? I mean, seriously? So I use the spell to bring her back to life. And so I've got her, and at this point I've got I had the special standing stone ability where you use the ability and it will raise everything around you from the dead. And so I'm doing that, and whenever I do that, I come in with this little chorus thing, and Lydia, and I saved, and I look over at this mound of just scrap metal on the ground, and then I see this frickin' Falmer. Like, the frick is a Falmer doing in here? This isn't a dwarven ruin. And then this scrap pile of metal gets up. And at this point, I didn't know what the frick this thing was. I'm just standing there and I think, wow, that is ugly, and I run. And so at this point, I'm running from the Falmer, who is following me into the cave, and he kills me about 9 times. Then I finally manage to kill him, get a crappy little helmet off of him. And then I go back in. I see this dwarven centurion charging at me, swinging his giant hammer fists and blowing all his frickin' steam at me. And at this point, I had saved after I killed the Falmer dude. And so he kills me a couple of times. And this is on Adept. So this was at the point where I hadn't figured out. I was so awful at the game. My character was like level 12, but I hadn't figured out how to level him up yet. I hadn't realized that if you click on skills, you can level him up and up his health and stuff. I didn't figure out perks or anything like that until about a year of playing this stupid game. And I know I'm noobalicious, but I'm standing there and I kill this thing and I'm like, oh, I better get like some sort of awesome dwarven sword with special enchantments and stuff. This has got to be like a one-of-a-kind boss. There's like 90 of the frickin' things in the entire world. And I know how to farm them at this point, but I don't even have Skyrim anymore, so that's not important. But, so I get into it, and I'm like, what the frick is this? Because I'm looking into it, Dwemer scrap metal, ooh, Grand Soldier, I can use that. And then a Centurion Dynamo Core. I'm like, what the frick is a Centurion Dynamo Core? Later I figured out that what a Centurion Dynamo Core is it's something you use in order to make Daedric weapons at the Atronach Forge, which, by the way, is how I got my full set of enchanted Daedric armor. I went to the Atronach Forge, and I did the random, I didn't have ebony armor because I was like level 25, and I didn't have any freaking Centurion Dynamo Cores since I didn't know where to find those freaking things anymore. I didn't remember it, and so I didn't remember that you could farm them and stuff. So I did the random one where I used Daedra Hearts, Soul Gems, that weird Void Powder crap, and all that crap. And so I did that over and over and over again eventually until I had a full set of Daedric armor and a Daedric shield and a Daedric war axe, one-handed war axe. And so I'm like, heck yeah. And I thought I was all boss, and then I'd keep getting killed anyways. But that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, so that's that story. And we're approaching the, let's see here, 3/4 mark. So we're going to have to wrap this up here pretty quick. Let's end on some notes for Elder Scrolls 6. I am really, really hoping that the Elder Scrolls 6 is not the Elder Scrolls 6 Argonia. I want a frickin' Skyrim too. And, it makes me so sad because we wound up giving our Xbox 360 to a friend and they bought us our Xbox One. And so, I forgot to save all my stuff to the cloud just in case anything became backwards compatible, which it did, but Skyrim's not. So, I wish that for the players who were smart enough to keep their characters on the cloud instead of the hard drive of the stupid thing, I hope that they manage to, I hope they make a Skyrim 2 and that you can connect your old Skyrim account through the cloud and get that character on there. And then for those of us who screwed up, we can still make a new character. But I'm pretty excited. Here in, sorry, I just knocked my microphone. I did it again. Here in about a month and a half, I'm going to be getting a couple of RPGs that we'll probably discuss in this. I'm going to be getting Dark Souls 2's Scholar of the First Sin, which is, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's only rated T for teen. And then I'm going to get the Middle Earth Shadow Mordor, which is worse than it sounds. But yeah, so we're at 17 minutes. We're just going to end it for today. Oh gosh, it's been so fun. I love doing these podcasts, and we were going to have a special guest on today, but backed out last minute. So yeah, that's going to end us for today, and I will see you later. Bye.